publish, publish, publish. Let's talk about the word publish. So, as a verb, publish means to make something public, especially written works like books, articles, or research papers, available to people in general. In common usage, we often use it when talking about putting out a new book, magazine, or newspaper, but it can also apply to sharing information online through websites, blogs, or social media. One thing to keep in mind is that publish implies a level of official or professional presentation. So if someone is just posting something casual online, we might use the phrase share with others instead. It's not quite the same as saying they're publishing their thoughts. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word publish with their respective contexts. I'm excited to share that our company's annual report will be published on Friday at 3 p.m. So please make sure all necessary revisions are completed by Thursday evening. In a formal business context, this sentence uses publish to convey the completion and distribution of a printed or digital document. Meanwhile, I'm really stoked to finally publish my first ever short story in an indie literary magazine. It's been years since I started writing. In casual conversation with friends, this sentence uses publish to share personal news and excitement about creative work being shared publicly. Our research team is currently working on a study that aims to explore the relationship between coffee consumption and cognitive function, which will be published in the Journal of Nutrition Science next month. In an academic or scientific context, this sentence uses publish to indicate the dissemination of research findings through a peer-reviewed journal. So you want to know what publish means? Well, when we say that something is going to be published, we mean that it's going to be shared with a wider audience, like people all over the world. The main characteristic of publishing is that it makes information, ideas, or creative works available for others to see, read, or experience. It's similar to concepts like making public or sharing widely, and can also be thought of as sharing something through a medium like books, magazines, newspapers, websites, or even social media. When we publish something, it means that we're making it available for anyone who wants to access it. And it can be used to spread ideas, share knowledge, or showcase creativity. Does that make sense? React. 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 So, let's break down the word react. It's a verb, which means it's an action word. And in this case, it can be both transitive and intransitive, depending on how we use it. In general, to react means to have a strong emotional or physical response to something that has happened or been said. For example, I reacted strongly to the news, or she reacted defensively when I criticized her work. You'll often see it used with words like anger, fear, surprise, and so on, which means we're talking about a specific kind of reaction. Like, he reacted with anger when his friend betrayed him. The word is very common in everyday conversation, especially in situations where people are discussing how they've responded to some event or person. Just be careful not to confuse it with the unrelated noun react, which can refer to a website or a platform for discussion and community building. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word react, along with their respective contexts. In formal settings, such as a meeting or a presentation, you might say, the research team's findings will likely react to our current model by suggesting several improvements. This usage is formal because it's used in a professional context where precision and clarity are crucial. The sentence implies that the new data will have an impact on the existing model. In casual conversations, you could use a sentence like this. I'm really going to react when I see my friend's surprise party. He has no idea. This usage is casual because it's used in everyday conversation among friends or family members. The tone is informal and playful, with an emphasis on the emotional response to the upcoming surprise. In business or academic settings, a sentence like this might be useful. The economic downturn will react with a significant decrease in consumer spending. According to our market analysis, this usage is formal because it's used in professional contexts, where accuracy and objectivity are important. The sentence implies that the economic situation will have an impact on consumer behavior. So you're trying to understand what we mean when we say something is related to a particular idea or feeling in response to a situation or stimulus? Well, imagine you see a friend smiling at you, and it makes you feel happy too. Or maybe someone asks you if you want to go for a walk, and suddenly you really want to get out and exercise. This kind of connection between something that happens and the way we think or feel in response is what we're talking about. It's like our internal mood barometer gets triggered by external events. When people talk about this concept, they often use words like response, feedback, or outcome, but there are also other technical terms that describe how things work together in a similar way. Register. 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 So, let's talk about the word register. As a verb, it means to make an official record of something, such as when you sign up for a class or a bank account. It can also mean to show that you are interested in or concerned with something, like when you register your complaints about a service. In British English, you might use the phrase to be registered, which is different from American English where they say to get registered. As a noun, register refers to a device that records and displays information, like the numbers on an ATM machine or a digital display. It's also used in computing to refer to memory space allocated for processing data. In informal contexts, people might use the phrase on the same wavelength as a synonym of being in tune with someone else's feelings, which can be confusing, but that's another topic. In a formal setting like a university, you might say, to take advantage of the discounted tuition fee for international students, please register with our office by August 15th. The word register here means to officially sign up or enroll in something, and is used in an academic context. In contrast, when chatting with friends over coffee, you might casually say, "Hey, have you registered for the concert tickets yet? I've been trying to get my hands on some all day." Here, registered refers to the act of signing up or booking a spot for something, like a concert ticket. On the other hand, in a business setting like a marketing meeting, someone might say, "We need to register our new product with the FDA before it can hit the shelves." In this case, register means to officially record or notify an organization or authority about the existence of something. So, you want to know about this concept in English? Okay. In simple terms, when we talk about something called register in language, we're referring to the level of formality or informality that we use when speaking or writing. It's like how you dress up for a special occasion or keep it casual on a weekend. In language, register is about using words and phrases that are suitable for the situation or audience. For example, if you're talking to your boss, you might use more formal language, while with friends, You can be more relaxed and use everyday language. It's not just about what you say, but also how you say it, the tone, style, and even vocabulary that's used. Does that make sense?